I've got 2. We know 3 birthday parties on Saturday, and Sunday, that's my me time. I am not willing to give that up.
How's that look?
Works for me.
Works for me.
Welcome into ESPNU today from beautiful Northern California. It is Santa Clara getting set to host the Bulldogs of Gonzaga. Big boost here today, Gonzaga. Amelia Severin, a freshman, 4 goals, 4 assists in her last 7 games. One to keep an eye on. For Santa Clara, big boost coming back from the Under-20 Women's World Cup. Mana Hayashi, the Japanese Youth International. Take a quick look here at the WCC standings here, and it is a logjam. Remember, the winner of the regular season standings, they will get a direct move into the NCAA tournament. And welcome in, everybody. I'm Glenn Davis. Alongside me, former U.S. international Casey White. And Casey, today, one big coaching legend for sure on display here in Santa Clara's Jerry Smith.
And what a legend he is, you are right. Not just because of the things he has won, but the style in which he imposes on his opponents. He wants his players to play, to make decisions, and he really empowers them to do that in their style of play.
38th season, 2 national championships, and one of only 3 coaches on the women's side with over 500 wins. And today he's going to depend on a great attacking player in Kennedy Shaynauer.
And Kennedy Shaynauer is a player that is so opportunistic in front of goal, really good movements, finds space as well. Santa Clara is going to be relying on her to try to get on the scoreboard or at least distract so other players can generate opportunities.
Now for Gonzaga, it's a first-year head coach in Katie Benz, but she's very in tune with this program, having been a part of the staff last year, which was voted the WCC Staff of the Year. So Katie Benz in charge here tonight against Jerry Smith. And then, of course, she is going to rely on Paige Alexander, a goal scorer up front.
And a player that has played up front, but also has seen some time in the back line, but still continues to get goals and assists. 6 goals, 5 assists in the 15 games so far this year. She'll be a catalyst for their attack.
Very cultured left foot. We'll take a break here from Northern California. When we come back on ESPNU, we'll give you the lineups for both Santa Clara and Gonzaga. It's the best of women's college soccer coming up next.
Smile, you found it. The feeling of finding psoriasis can't filter out the real you. So go ahead, live unfiltered with the one and only Sotyktu, a once-daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis and the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding you're so ready for your close-up, or finding you don't have to hide your skin, just your background. Once-daily Sotyktu was proven better, getting more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. There's only one Sotyktu, so ask for it by name. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
Here's what Katie Benz puts out for Gonzaga here today. They come in at 7-6-2 and 3-2-1 in the conference.
They'll be in a 4-3-3 with that double pivot, but watch for Alexander and Chin to really get high and wide and join Severin and Garcia in those attacking wide channels here this afternoon.
Jerry Smith and the Santa Clara Broncos come in at 10-2-3, undefeated in the WCC at 4-0-2.
And Santa Clara will also be in the 4-3-3. Hayashi, who we highlighted earlier, will be really important in possession, but Minty and Jordan will be a big part of that as well. Can they bypass pressure and find Shaynauer a little bit higher up the field? That'll be what Santa Clara is looking to do.
All-time series, Santa Clara leads at 24-2-3. Santa Clara in white, and in the black is Gonzaga. Referee Robert Vince. And it's game on here in Northern California, as the West Coast Conference matchup is underway here. And of course, this is a big one. Long ball's going to come into the box here. First touch of the game here for Gonzaga goalkeeper Lauren Town, who comes back in goal after a hamstring injury. And she pushes everybody forward here. I would say to you, Casey, take us into the two playing styles of these teams. Back to that in a second here, because trying the lob here off the top of it is Shaynauer for Santa Clara.
Well, I don't think that's something we're going to see a whole lot from Santa Clara, is that more direct play. Their playing style is keep the ball on the ground, play through the thirds. They want to go east to west to really be able to disrupt and unsettle their opponents, where Gonzaga's not going to want to allow that to happen. They can build up in their own right, but they're going to want to be really compact defensively and just get numbers forward, make it a little more chaotic, and put Santa Clara under pressure.
First foul of this game there. Heavy hit in midfield. That coming from Paige Alexander. We featured her. 6 goals, 5 assists for her. She had 2 in the 4-0 victory over USF in their last game. And of course, Santa Clara drawing in a 1-1 very physical matchup against Washington State, which Jerry Smith said, you know, they kind of took us out of our rhythm in that one.
And that's going to happen at times, because when you're a possession-oriented team, you're going to want to put that team under pressure and make them have to be really efficient in possession, really technical, and see if they can execute. Until they prove that they can do that, you want to continue to put that pressure on. And he was really gracious in saying that Washington State really tested them in that way.
Switch of play here. Santa Clara just puts such a high value on nurturing the ball, and you can see it here as they try to play through the midfield. Stepping up here though is Gonzaga. They win it back. So a real clash of two styles here today. And this possession-based play of Santa Clara, the real trademark of Jerry Smith.
Definitely something that he wants to do. It's not just the technical precision piece, but also just allowing his players to really freely think, fill spaces. That's something we're going to see a lot today. Expect to see a lot of change of position from all of these players, and just filling space instead of playing a strict system.
Here is the confidence to play out, and when you can play to the feet there of Mana Hayashi, that's always a good thing. She is just a wonderful link player, wonderful passer of the ball, and is always an option, it seems, for Santa Clara. Over the top they go. They're trying to bring in Shaynauer. All the way back to the goalkeeper, Lauren Town. Yep. 14 wins last year for Gonzaga. They ended up winning the WCC. They got the direct ticket into the NCAA tournament. This is Hannah Gray knocking it forward now, the busy all-action midfielder for Gonzaga. And calmly playing it on the floor, and switching play here is Santa Clara, but again, stepping up as Gonzaga.
One of the things to point out with Gonzaga is they're not just playing direct to just play direct. There's purpose behind it. You can see that they want to be in possession in certain moments and keep the ball and retain the ball as much as they can in the middle third, but they will look for those more direct balls to cause a foot race with the back line. So something that Santa Clara's going to have to think about when there is that transition moment.
Towards the corner flag, this one just over hit there. Already trying to get forward was Paige Alexander. There's a good look at Hannah Gray, real worker in midfield out of Seattle, Washington for Gonzaga.
And she's playing the role that Hayashi's playing for Santa Clara, kind of in that 6 holding midfield role that really has to dictate tempo, when to go, when to keep it, and keep the back line and the midfield line connected in possession.
That's what Jerry Smith wanted to do, really drawing Gonzaga to one side of the field now. They get out of their own half. It's one back there, quick early ball on. That's a big intervention there. And an important one there coming from Marissa Bubnis, the redshirt senior. Olivia Lester to Lauren Chin. Chin will go direct. And dropping off and cleaning that up perfectly is Santa Clara, but it's won back again by Gonzaga. Kat Jordan now, she's fouled. It'll be a free kick here, Santa Clara. Thoughts so far in this one?
Well, I think it's exactly what we do expect. Gonzaga is looking to go forward pretty immediately, but it's not always successful, but they're poised to win those second balls that are cleared out by Santa Clara. So Santa Clara's gonna have to look to really settle that down. And it's not about just defending, it's about connecting that first pass out of defending into their attacking transition. If they can do that, they'll be able to settle into possession a bit more early in the game.
Switch of play from Hayashi. Coming back to the ball is Shaynauer. And a good ball up the line to keep possession here from Santa Clara now as they try to get forward.
Wrong foot, Ava. Wrong foot.
Quickly winning it back was Ava Wieland.
Hey! Give it to Colby. Look at Carol.
Seriously get into, you know, times teams like to foul Santa Clara, try to break their rhythm, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, if they get into too much of a rhythm, they can be really difficult to deal with because they love to move the ball, lots of little passes here and there. They're very accurate with their ball retention, so you want to disrupt as much as possible and then use the moments when you're able to disrupt to try to find spaces that they've left open from their expansive attacking shape.
Santa Clara in possession here now. That was Colby Barnett wearing number 31. Very, very talented senior. Excellent passer of the ball. And trying to bust their way through here is Kat Jordan. And finally broken up by Gonzaga. Santa Clara 5-1-2 at home.
Seconds or so is there's more possession from Santa Clara, so it forces the opposition to be a little bit deeper in a low block, and that's better for Santa Clara and their possession higher up the field.
Whole team joining in now. Here they are at the top of the box. Shot is blocked. Trying to offer that up was Sally Menti, but again, a good piece of delivery here is headed away by Gonzaga. And the Bulldogs now having to defend here a little bit deeper. Big space in midfield here. In pursuit, trying to catch up now to the bursting run of Emily Huerta. Santa Clara has now gotten back behind the ball here and have won it back. Shaynauer will knock it back. And they'll take the pressure off here through possession. Take a look at the series history between Gonzaga and Santa Clara. Santa Clara has been dominant. Gonzaga, though, getting a win in 2023, which was an outstanding season for them. Winning the West Coast Conference title. Here is Hayashi, played against the U.S. in the Under-20 Women's World Cup final in Colombia.
I like what we're seeing so far from both of these groups. You've seen this east to west play, but you're also seeing the north to south. Both of these teams are comfortable in possession, although Santa Clara gets the reputation for wanting to possess more. You're still seeing Gonzaga look to keep the ball a little bit, develop numbers, because when Huerta was going forward earlier, there were no numbers around her, so they're really good decisions to keep possession in their own half.
And it comes and off her line there. And quickly is Lauren Town, who was all WCC second team. There's a good look right now at number 7, Amelia Warda, 2 goals, 5 assists on the year. The most shots on this team with 45. One to keep an eye on here today has been a player of the week as well.
You can see earlier in that attacking transition, she gets her head down and wants to go to goal. It's just going to be about building numbers against this Santa Clara defense.
Garcia knocks it inside. Comes back out wide. Comes in from the ring to the far post. Dangerous moment there. Amelia Severn, who we featured in our open with 4 goals and 6 assists, was getting to that back post, Casey.
Well, when Santa Clara's backs are a little bit higher, they did a really good job letting that ball go through to Rigg, and then the play behind the back line. It puts a defender in a really tough position. So those are the moments that the Zags are going to really try to take advantage, get numbers in the box early, and provide service.
Real energy in this one between both these teams. So much at stake here as we wind down a very condensed women's college soccer season.
And Glenn, on the surface with this game, there is so much space in midfield. It looks like on the surface that it's a 4-3-3 versus a 4-3-3. It should be pretty straightforward. It's not, because you're seeing Colby Barnett come inside. That's something Jerry Smith likes to do. Let his players fill different types of spaces. Not so worried about system, but fill the space, find openings to where you can connect forward.
Yeah, we had a really interesting conversation with both coaches. And Jerry Smith had a lot of really interesting things to say. He even took responsibility and accountability for a loss at UCLA. You know, a lot of coaches don't do that.
No, they don't, and I think the vulnerability piece is really important. We'll take a look back at Warda. This was the last really good attack from Gonzaga. It was Rigg going outside. That's a hard ball because the goalkeeper isn't really able to come. It's the pace that's put on this ball that makes it so difficult for goalkeepers right across the 6, but good defending on the back post area to make sure that they weren't able to get on it. I believe it was Amelia Severn on that back post, just not quite able to get a touch.
And that was the work of Caitlin Rigg, and she pulled out of the middle there to whip in that delivery. She had a goal against USF. She's a sophomore from Olympia, Washington. She's gotten increased playing time. Thirteenth minute.
Time.
Confidence through passing right now for Santa Clara.
Holding net. Holding net. Holding
It's
net.
Hayashi jumping in there to try and win that ball back for the Broncos. And direct it goes again, and the back line of Santa Clara really reading these longer balls and dropping off, Casey.
They're alert to that service in behind. That's something Jerry Smith spoke about, just that attacking transition moment. Be ready to race back and make sure you control the back space between the goalkeeper and the entire back line. So something they're going to be alert to in this game, especially as they start to establish more possession. Just like we saw Colby Barnett coming inside, Lucy Mitchell's doing the same thing, and it's allowing Santa Clara to dominate possession through the center of the field.
Time.
Bubnis towards the back post, trying to leg that down here is Kat Jordan, and it comes, ball is still loose and cleared by Gonzaga. Out they break. About 71 degrees. It's perfect weather for NCAA college soccer. Hayashi will knock it back. Whelan getting a lot of the ball here in the right back position.
What I like that she's doing is she's looking for Hayashi. You can see the confidence they have on Hayashi when she's on the ball. Even when there's 2-3 players around her, they're going to give it to her.
Good defending here. from Gonzaga 15 minutes in. Santa Clara threatening here after this long delivery here from Bubnis.
Yeah, and there's two opportunities in a row. This is Kat Jordan getting in this space, trying to create a little half chance in the area. And it's Shane Hours just always around the box. That's what we talk about when we talk about being opportunistic. But Lauren Town comes up big in that moment, makes sure they get rid of it and get out of the penalty area.
Just saw her numbers there. Glenn Davis, former U.S. international, Casey White, Stevens Stadium, Buckshaw Field in Santa Clara, California. It's Santa Clara and Gonzaga. Very important matchup in the West Coast Conference. Bubnis to Caroline Gray, the grad student. She'll play it forward. You can hear a lot of the beautiful natural sound of passing of the ball, communication between both these teams. Here's Shane Hour at the top of the box. Extended possession here for Santa Clara. They're going to get the cross in. 6 players back in the box defending for Gonzaga. Hayashi trying to jump in now. And these transition moments is where Santa Clara wants to be really aware, and they have been just dropping off and getting in good defensive positions.
Well, that's something Gonzaga is going to have to figure out. Can they find the space in front of the back line, perhaps, if they drop off early?
Switch of play. Ball whipped in the end, good handling there from goalkeeper Lauren Town.
And a lot of what we're seeing from Santa Clara is Addie Whitehouse getting into the wide space. Both coaches talked about how the wide channels were going to be really important, both of them for different reasons, but Lucy Mitchell coming inside for Santa Clara, creating that overload centrally, is allowing a lot of space there for the outside back to get up and around.
Good look at Addie Whitehouse, 2 goals and an assist, sophomore from Littleton, Colorado. You'll see her flip-flop on either side of the field, but brings the nice element of the wide game, which certainly is going to benefit those central and midfield.
And if Santa Clara can start getting that going in the wide space, ultimately Zags have to go out there and respect that. So then you start to have spaces centrally that you can look to take advantage of. So there's that bit of the chess match with the way that Santa Clara plays that it might not pay off right away, but as the game goes on, they're hoping to really make sure that the Zags don't stay disciplined defensively.
Some higher pressure here from Gonzaga, and they're going to win the ball back here via the throw in there. Some good pressure there. That must please the head coach, Katie Benz. That's a long-range hit. That's going to go way over the top. Ambitious, maybe. But Amelia Warta, not afraid to shoot there, the sophomore from Vancouver, Washington.
Here we go, Broncos!
For the Bulldogs, number 3, Kylie Jones, number 20.
Kylie Jones has come on now. Shaynauer made a nice run coming back to the ball, but couldn't link up. And she's won it back here. This is Kennedy Shaynauer, and in the end, it's going to go to Lauren Town in goal from Gonzaga.
And so often players have already broken the line like Shaynauer does in this moment, and they look to cut it back. I was told that my whole career, stop cutting it back. If you're in behind, go, go, go. And I'm sure in that moment, Shaynauer should have taken that extra touch first. It's really good defending from her. She has space in behind, decides to cut back, but allows the defender to recover in that moment. Olivia Lester does well to get back after the mistake.
Hayashi. There's Hayashi again. I mean, just so effortless on the ball. Like many of these highly technical Japanese players that we see at all levels of soccer.
And anytime you Yeah, anytime you play internationally, Glenn, I mean, you know, with the Japanese teams, it feels like they have 13 or 14 players on the field. So not only are they technical, but they understand space really well. They know how to stay in gaps, and they don't have to be sprinting around to do it. They're just really observant, and she does that. She's done it at the international level and does it here for Santa Clara.
Driving it forward here is Barnett. Pass is cut out. It's one back here by Gonzaga. That was Marissa Garcia. Final pass to Shaynauer, just hit a little bit too long. Lawrentown collects for Gonzaga. 21 minutes in. So look at Lawrentown, redshirt senior, had a hamstring issue. 6 shutouts last year, was all WCC second team. Has 3 on the year this year.
And in speaking with Katie Benz about the goalkeeping, one of the things we called her LT, Lawrentown, that she really takes charge of that goalkeeping unit, make sure that there's always players ready to go in if she does have an injury so the team doesn't suffer. And she's just a really good leader in that moment, and something that the head coach spoke about a lot.
So Caitlin Rigg got decked there. 4 goals and assists on the year for her. 422 minutes for her this year. She has scored in 3 straight. And nobody's going to take a hot goal scorer off the field.
What I've liked about what we've seen so far this afternoon from her is she plays in that central forward role, but she's rolled out into outside spaces, and that can unbalance a back line, which is incredibly important. And that came from their best opportunity, was her rolling out into the near side channel for the cross.
This is Amelia Severn standing over this free kick for Gonzaga. They've loaded the box up here. 21 minutes in Northern California. Severn, good defensive header. Delivery didn't hit the right area. Out for the goal kick. Amelia Severn, a very talented freshman from Shoreline, Washington. 4 goals in 7 games to go along with 4 assists. 4 of the assists have come in her last 5 games, so her level of goal contributions right now incredibly high, producing plays.
And to play the role of provider, really important when you have other players around you, like a Paige Alexander who can score goals. And Katie Benz talked about how the inclusion of her into this team has really helped with their possession in the middle third of the field, which has allowed them to get more players higher up the field, more players with those goal contributions.
Erin Ewers has come on for Caitlin Rigg. For Gonzaga, as they come out of their own half. They found some real space here in midfield now. Santa Clara trying to get back behind the ball. It's a long, long run from Warta, who now is going to decide to hold it up and keep possession here. Jones knocks it back. Chin. Going Chin again now. Dependable right back for the head coach, Katie Benz. Werner. Cleared by Santa Clara, trying to hold it up here is Shaynauer. She does. That's good work from her. Quick look from behind from Kat Jordan. She gets it out wide here. This is Barnett. Now switch to the right side of the field. She'll play a ball forward here, and that's just going to be overhit slightly. Katie Benz, promoted last year from being an assistant coach, former coach at Montana, played at Cal on teams with Alex Morgan. First year as a head coach, but remember last year their staff won the WCC Staff of the Year after winning the league title.
And that really helps in transition when you have a coach that's been a part of it, not only just has been a player at the highest level and in this area, but also has been a part of the staff, understands how to manage that transition. So that piece is really important, and had a great conversation with her just about continuing the culture that was built, you know, prior, and continuing to evolve different parts of their game to try to stay at the top of the West Coast Conference.
After their great season last year, Chris Watkins went to BC and she got promoted, so wonderful for her. By the way, she's not the normal college coach. She was in a band called The Youngest and spent a year recording, writing, and touring around the country.
I love that. I love hearing that.
I'm going to have to look the band up now. All right, Week 8, Monday Night Football matchup. Malik Neighbors and the Giants in Pittsburgh. They'll take on Russell Wilson and the 5-2 Steelers, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. Go over to ESPN2 and get the call from Peyton and Eli. Gonzaga, big tackle there, standing up the run of Marissa Garcia. Still Garcia. Ewers was to her left, tackled away by Santa Clara, so a good little spell here of aggressive play from Gonzaga.
And it really has been a bit of a chess match so far in this game. Both teams are enjoying some spells of possession. I've liked what Gonzaga's done, where they've looked to try to penetrate quickly in transition, but when it hasn't worked or there's no numbers, they've kept possession of the ball.
Big ball in the box. This one dives a bit, but off her line there is Laura Santos, senior from in the area in San Jose, California. She's played 5 times. Gets the start here for Martin Nicolas, the redshirt junior who was in goal and had a save against Washington State in the 1-1 draw. 26th minute, will cut back sharply, eliminates the defender. Could have got the crossover, going to get it over anyway. It's then cleared. Shaynauer, top of the box. Two teams applying pressure back and forth here. Mitchell. There's that very confident play on the ball here from Santa Clara.
What I like that they're doing is Lucy Mitchell's all the way over on the right side, started as the left winger in their quote-unquote system of play, but what's so nice about what Santa Clara does is they just look for opportunities to overload, create 2v1s, create 2v2s, 3v2s, and figure it out, and they do that right there. Then teams get impatient in their defending and they commit fouls like this, so I like the way they're trying to find space right now these last few minutes.
Yeah, take us into how Jerry Smith wants this team to interchange and change positions to, you know, potentially confuse an opponent.
Well, they want to see where the opposition is. So you look at where's the space, where's the opposition, and where's my teammates, and then you move off of each other. So he wants them to feel like there's that flexibility in their system to not just stay rigid, and I'm a wide player, I stay wide, but actually move horizontally as well to create opportunities.
Santa Clara's going to keep possession here. Bubnis in the box. Town comes for it, punches. Player goes down in the box. It'll be a free kick. Both Town is down. And it's the type of ball that's going to tempt a goalkeeper off a line. Town showing range in her penalty area, and very slow to get up here is Colby Barnett here after this delivery.
I don't mind this direct ball in the space, but you're right. A lot of range shown, a lot of bravery from Lawrentown to come out. If you're going to come as a goalkeeper, you have to get something to this, or your defenders have to be filling in behind, and there wasn't anyone doing that. So she's really brave in coming to it, draws the foul, but it's impressive to see that kind of range from her.
Colby Barnett wasn't afraid either, threw her head in there. she's going to get walked off here. By the way, back to the playing style of Santa Clara, Casey. I have to believe it's also a recruiting tool for Jerry Smith.
It is. It's decision making, it's learning, it's being a total footballer, not just someone who has to play in one position or be pigeonholed. And really, when you're watching his system, you're seeing the center backs kind of hold their space. You're seeing Hayashi do that, and Shaneauer up top as the center forward. So kind of down the spine. But your attacking midfielders, your outside backs, your wingers, there's a lot of freedom, creativity, flexibility. And what that does for opponents, it makes it really hard to keep your defensive shape when you see so many different players moving in unison and having those opposite movements.
Ball's one back here in a good area. Driving it forward, getting the shot off over the top. One of the better chances of this match here today falls to Kat Jordan, the Santa Clara midfielder.
Well, a lot of times Santa Clara is in possession, but Gonzaga is trying to play as well, and they're dispossessed in that moment. Kat Jordan comes out of her attacking midfielder role, does really well to generate an opportunity and try to catch Gonzaga off guard, just not able to get that final shot.
Let's go, Zags!
Columbia transfer, and Jerry Smith made it very clear we want to play through both her, Kat Jordan, and Mana Hayashi in midfield.
Yeah, they're a good pairing. He talked a lot about how they both have simplicity in their game, which is what you want, but also some creativity as well.
Speaking of danger, here's Warta down. Twisting, turning, slips the ball, and the offside flag is up. 29 minutes in, still 0-0 between Gonzaga and Santa Clara. Glenn Davis alongside Casey White.
Kat Jordan shows some great technical ability right there, uses her body, some deception, but just not able to connect. Right here, uses the momentum against her opposition to try to get it back on her right foot, and it just sails high. But there's some real good attacking transition opportunities for both teams.
Early ball into the box here for Gonzaga now. Garcia. Warta. Point, Casey, Gonzaga showing that they can hold the ball at times when they need to.
They are, and I would have liked to see a little bit more aggression on that initial first pass to break the line, but then a good decision after.
Ball in the box here, player goes down. We're pointing to the penalty spot. Knocked down in the box was Gonzaga's Kylie Jones.
And it was in one of those moments where, as a back line, you're stepping because the ball has been cleared. But as soon as there's not pressure on the ball, the back line has to drop off. This ball's played into Kylie Jones. Give her a lot of credit. Taking that off the chest, gets on the inside shoulder right there, and is able to draw the foul. It's a clear and obvious foul in the penalty area for the penalty kick.
Delivery from Paige Alexander, by the way. Stepping up for Gonzaga is Chelsea Lee. It'll be Chelsea Lee against Lauren Zontos. Lee to put the Bulldogs up. Steps to her left, takes the penalty, save. It's read easily by Lauren Zontos, and a huge opportunity for Gonzaga. And wait a second, it may be taken again here.
And with that hesitation, it looks like there might be discussing that Zontos came off her line. But when you have that hesitation from Chelsea Lee, she can do that. She just has to continue moving. It can't be in the kicking zone when she does it. So it looks like there might be an opportunity to retake this here because of the early movement. And it was slight. It was very, very slight. So a little bit harsh here, I think, against the Santa Clara goalkeeper.
So they're going to change penalty takers here. Erin Ewers will come up to take it. Here's the Chelsea Lee miss.
And her heels are off the white line. That's what they're looking at in that moment. And it's because of that hesitation, it does draw Zontos off.
So not Erin Ewers will step up to take the penalty, the junior from Spokane, Washington. Saved again. Santa Clara goalkeeper Lauren Santos looking up to make sure that they're not going to take it again. And has saved a second consecutive penalty here.
It's incredibly interesting because they pick another kicker to take it, but it's the same type of run-up, and Santos just says, let's try this again. She reads it. Anytime you're hopping over to your left to take it with your right, it's incredibly hard to connect on that, but Santos comes up big in 2 moments.
Yeah, put a circle around that one. It was an identical penalty to the one that was taken prior from Chelsea Lee.
When a lot of the problem on both of those penalties too is, you know, I'm not the biggest fan of the faking the run up and all of that, but if you can do it well, do it. Everyone has their own routine, but there was not a lot of power on either shot, and they were lifted. So if those are a little bit lower, maybe that slides into a side netting, but lifting it makes it much easier for goalkeepers. But credit to Santos for reading both of them incredibly well.
Something tells me, Casey, you didn't take penalties with a stutter step.
No, I did not. I did not. But that was also like back in the Stone Age when we didn't really do that. You know what I mean, Glenn? It's been a while.
Yeah, people weren't worried about style points. They were just worried about scoring goals. I don't think many college players were doing Panenkas back then.
Definitely not. Definitely not. It's evolved, that's for sure.
Santa Clara in possession. Let's see how these two teams now react to the save penalty. 32nd minute. Right now, Lauren Santos, the star of the match here for Santa Clara.
Yeah, and that's one of the things with penalty kicks. You don't necessarily expect your goalkeeper to make a save, so it's such a bonus when they can do that once, let alone twice. And she comes up really big. Santa Clara does have that lapse, and Gonzaga's not able to take advantage in their one lap so far in the first half.
Shane Howard's pass goes out of play. So if you look at this overall now, 32 minutes in, Casey, who do you think's style is being imposed? Is it Gonzaga or is it Santa Clara?
I don't think that there's been one team that's really overshadowed the other right now. Yes, I expect to see Santa Clara with a little bit more possession through the thirds, and we have seen that. But Gonzaga's picked moments to do the same thing as well. They've defended well. They've also done a good job in attacking transition, when to go quick at first, when to keep it and recycle and enjoy that ball retention in the middle third.
Shane Howard gets it wide. Ball squared back into the box, off the turn, took a deflection. And it should go out here for a Santa Clara corner. 38 seasons, Jerry Smith in charge, over 550 wins. By the way, not only won 2 national titles, but also boatload of times. In fact, 9 times to the semifinals. So 9 times Santa Clara was 1 result away from playing for another national championship. That's remarkable.
It is, and you mentioned it earlier. Just loved hearing him, hearing his philosophy, hearing him talk about, you know, everything he's looking forward to this year with this group.
Menti off the delivery to the near post. Cleared by Gonzaga. Would Santa Clara be disappointed here with some of the possession and play they've had in the final third with a little lack of maybe chance creation?
I think it's more about the chance creation. They've figured out how to find some space centrally, and I think initially Jerry Smith thought that might be an area where they may not be able to play so much, especially early in the game. I think they've done a good job of that, finding spaces on the side of the sixes of Gonzaga, but it's when they get into that final third, just a little bit off on the efficiency piece and that execution. That's an area where they can get a little bit better as this game goes on.
Margin slim. Paige Alexander has remained in the left back position. At times she'll get pushed forward, but here she is. She had the ball into the box that led to the penalty. Bends another one in, but this one's a bit straight and goes right to the goalkeeper, Lauren Santos.
Well, you can tell that Gonzaga is looking for that. It did work last time when they drew the penalty kick, just technically not perfect on that service there, but that's something Santa Clara is going to have to be aware of, because that ball, as you step, can be really hard, and you've got a lot of runners looking to just get off the back shoulder, get that extra yard of space to catch the back line off guard.
NHL Tuesday doubleheader, Rangers and Caps, 7:30 Eastern time. Kings and Sharks out in California, 6 Eastern time on ESPN2. Don't forget, coverage begins with The Point at 6 Eastern on ESPN2. Right here at Santa Clara and Gonzaga. Very important West Coast Conference matchup here. Third player running here. This one is going to be one back here by Santa Clara. If they get in the box here, may have an opportunity. They win it back. Long range hit there. The effort from Kat Jordan again, who seems to be getting most of the shots here from just outside the box here today for Santa Clara.
Well, Gonzaga does recover really well centrally, and so there's not a lot of space to penetrate behind the back line, at least in those central moments. But what Santa Clara is doing is they're creating a 5 versus 3 and a 4 versus 3 in the central area, letting their outside backs get really high and wide. That's causing problems for Gonzaga in the middle third of the field.
High-flying Colby Barnett comes back on for Santa Clara. By the way, on Sundays, it's kick-out cancer game. That's why you see the pink on Santa Clara. We love that. 36th minute. All the way back to Zantos.
You can see a pretty clear picture of it right there. 5 players centrally. It's Barnett, it's Sally Minty coming underneath. You've got Kat Jordan and even Lucy Mitchell coming inside. So it just creates a lot of numbers up for Santa Clara in the central channel. And I think that's something they can continue to try to find those spaces, get forward, and pull players out of shape from Gonzaga.
Wheeland. Changes here. Santa Clara is going to bring on Marissa Vasquez. Now, Marissa Vasquez scored in the 1-1 draw against Washington State. Paige Alexander wearing the captain's armband. 2 goals against USF, has 6 on the year. Casey, do you think we'll see her get a run up front like she does on occasion?
I don't know. I think it'll do it more in the run of play. I don't know if they'll necessarily change her from a personnel perspective. I think she's found moments to get forward and use some of that service. And she's also just developed into such a good 1v1 defender. Katie Benz talked a lot about that, and she'll do whatever she needs for the team to make sure that the performance is what they need.
Splitting pass there coming from Emily Warta, just overhit out for the goal kick for Zantos. A number of changes being made here in the final minutes of this first half, now in the 39th minute. So Schaenauer will go off. Probably didn't get the looks at goal maybe she would have liked, Casey.
No, and not getting on the ball a whole lot, but she's a player that doesn't necessarily always have to be on the ball. She gets in really good spaces in the penalty area, but the opportunities she did have were really half chances so far in this first half.
Gonzaga now. And Gonzaga's going to earn the corner here, and an opportunity for them to load the box up here now in the 39th minute.
This is not what you want if you're Santa Clara. They want to limit the set pieces of Gonzaga. They're very dangerous on them. Jerry Smith spoke about that. We have to limit set pieces and watch the space behind the back line. So far, besides the penalty they gave up, they did that. Now it's just about organization and making sure that they know where each player is to make sure nothing comes from this.
Marissa Garcia to take it. Senior from Rowland Heights, California. Got a left foot there, so this looks to be an in-swinger here. Kind of hit flat towards the penalty area. It's a flicked on header, and Zantos will pounce on that. Very able, very confident in goal here today for Santa Clara. Cutting sharp on a dime there. And playing it forward now. Clara's got some bodies in the box. Cross took a deflection. They will get a corner now. And again, it's Olivia Lester breaking plays up at the back for Gonzaga. Sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada. Vasquez and Barnett could play the short one here if they want. Basically would be 2-on-1, but maybe quickly a 2-on-2. But it is going to be Vasquez who goes to the back post. Oh, it was a clear opportunity via the head. And the contact just not there.
And I think that's what we are missing from both of these teams. There's some really good play in the middle third, but that final third efficiency and the execution piece, just making sure that the pace of your ball's right, that the timing of your header, the timing of your finish, the choice of finish, all of those little details are going to come into play here this afternoon.
Garcia now stands on it. Hits it back. Quickly doubled up here. That support from behind here from Paige Alexander. Alexander knocks it inside. It's Gonzaga now. Taking a page out of Santa Clara's book, showing that they can knock the ball around well. 42nd minute. Target there was Tori Powell. Gonzaga deals with it well here now. Coming back to the ball was Huerta. Got halftime, first half stats, highlights, plus a really, really cool piece on Santa Clara. Into the box, Gonzaga, and off the line is Santos. A Santa Clara preseason trip that included whitewater rafting and camping for team bonding. It's a fun video. You'll love watching that one.
And this is really good attacking from Gonzaga. It's off the shoulder, it's against the grain, and Ewers is going in there, but Santos does really well to defend this space behind the back line. That's the space that Gonzaga wants to get into, whether they're in the attacking final third or whether they're even lower and building up in the middle third. That's something that Santos is going to have to stay aware of. But I like what we're seeing from Gonzaga. They're playing forward and looking to break lines, but it's with purpose, and they're able to find feet a lot of the opportunities.
Yeah, I think sometimes they get labeled as just being, you know, a direct, aggressive team, but you use the magic word there, purpose.
Absolutely, I think you're right, Glenn. They have done really well. A lot of it's been finding Huerta's feet there in midfield between the lines. And something that Santa Clara's kind of gotten away from is getting Hayashi on the ball. I think the game is calling for that, for her to be on it. But also, Barnett and Mitchell are really good in the 1v1. I'd like to see them go a little more dangerous.
Long range hit, and that one's pulled wide. Had the power, might have been a tester if it would have been on goal. But you do like the conviction of that last attack from Santa Clara, and running at Gonzaga was Colby Barnett.
Well, and I think that's a great word that you use, is the conviction piece. Colby Barnett goes to the outside. Addie Whitehouse steps up, hits this ball. It's the conviction to get your head down and go. There's a lot of really good possession, but there's moments to be a difference maker. And I think whichever team can layer that in the rest of this half or the second half could be the separation.
Those two wingers, Addie Whitehouse and Colby Barnett, keep an eye on them. They could produce potentially the game winner, although there's a number of players out here that have been on goal-scoring streaks and making plays like this right now. Shot and saved by Santos. She denied Huerta. Huerta had a tug of the jersey there. Still got the shot off, and this one blasted by Marissa Garcia, goes out, and it will be a goal kick
So far,
Clara
Zontos is having a
themselves.
day. Yeah, absolutely having a day. Zontos has been huge for Santa Clara. It's this space again right here. Huerta's been all over the place, gets a little opportunistic bounce and does a really good job, but Zontos making herself big. I like what we've seen from Amelia Huerta, though. She's been in a space that's been really dangerous for Gonzaga, and that time being able to generate a great opportunity.
Huerta, 15 starts last year, comes from a soccer-playing family. Her sisters and parents all played the game, so I think there's a lot of soccer talk in that household. First half's going to come to an end. Wrap it up for us, Casey.
Well, I think the middle third has really been good from both teams. Good decisions, some opportunities on both ends, but I still think there's some opportunity in the wide space to create 2-against-1s for both of these teams. It's the final third where really it's going to be the separation. What goalkeepers can come up big, or what attacking players can make the right finishing choice at the right moment.
Both goalkeepers shining in the first half. There's a look at Lauren Town for Gonzaga. And Santa Clara's goalkeeper, Lauren Zontos, coming up big in this one as well. And it's the first half where both teams had chances, Casey.
It is, and both teams have been able to find some spaces in the final third, but it hasn't been a lot of chances, but there's been a couple quality chances on both sides. So interesting that it's still 0-0, but I think that really speaks to the play of the goalkeepers right now.
All right, let's say hello to the head coach and the legendary coach of Santa Clara, Jerry Smith. Jerry, thank you for your time. Just some quick thoughts on this first 45 minutes.
Yeah, I didn't think we took care of the ball well enough. And then when we did, the times we took care of the ball, we got to the attacking third, and then we didn't have any punch. You got to take care of the ball as kind of a mentality, and it's a compose and slow down and be sure. But when you get to the attacking third, you got to be aggressive. I didn't think we created nearly enough chances, and you know, we got one loose pass at the back, and then it ended up in a penalty kick. Luckily, we saved it. But you know, we got to take care of the ball better. It's giving it to a transitional team too many times, and they're transitioning. They're dangerous. And if it wasn't for our Lauren Zontos, we'd be down right now.
And when you guys do get forward and look dangerous, a lot of times it's the 2v1s in the wide channel. What's another message that you want to see in that final third as well, besides the 2v1s?
I honestly think we're overpassing in the final third. I'd like to see a little more dribbling in the final third. And then if we are going to make a pass, it has to be on the ground. We're like chipping balls head height. And boy, we're one of the weakest teams at heading the ball in maybe the country. And I don't know why we chip the ball in the air like that. We got to play it on the ground more. And we got to dribble more. We're overpassing in the attacking third. So whether we're in the wide channel or in a central channel, I just think we're overpassing.
Jerry, thank you very much for your time. Best of luck in the second half. That is the legendary coach, Jerry Smith. And by the way, how candid and open is he? Gonzaga and Santa Clara, 0-0 at the half. Welcome back to ESPNU and our coverage of Gonzaga and Santa Clara, 0-0 at the half between these two teams in the West Coast Conference. Let's go to the head coach now of Gonzaga, Katie Benz. Katie, thank you very much for joining us. Maybe give us a glimpse into what you said to your team in the locker room.
Just trust what we've been doing. Trust yourselves and individuals. You know, a lot of this game rides on confidence and knowing that you can do it and you can handle these big moments. And so I trust every single one of my players, and that was the sentiment that I shared in the locker room.
And Katie, your team was really efficient and controlled in attacking transition and breaking lines. How would you like to build on that here in the second half and try to create some separation against Santa Clara?
Yeah, you know, the next layer to add is just the speed of transition and the intensity that we typically bring, you know, because we're, you know, being really diligent defensively, you know, breaking out at speed is something that we need to add to the layer that we have going currently.
Coach, thank you for your time. Best of luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, that's Katie Benz. You heard it there. She wants more speed and a little bit more edge in that transitional play, Case.
Yeah, and that's something we talked at the end of the first half about for both of these teams. You heard it from Jerry Smith too. More dribbling, more 1v1s, that dangerous player we were thinking about that was really needed in that first half. And then the same thing here from Katie Benz. Let's do it with a little more intensity. Let's break out at speed. And I think we might see a little more north to south here, or just that intensity in the final third from both of these teams.
Here's what's at stake. 5th place in the WCC with a win for Gonzaga and a 4-way tie for first. It's a logjam, and remember, the winner of the conference gets a direct ticket to the NCAA tournament. It's game on here in the second half. Your referee is Robert Vinci, and away we go here. In the black is Gonzaga, in the white with the pink socks is Santa Clara. It is kick cancer game. Gonzaga last year winning the WCC. Santa Clara traditionally has dominated that. From both coaches, we appreciate both of their time. Gonzaga in possession here to start the second half. Got a run from Warta here, and it'll be shielded out for the goal kick here for Santa Clara.
And what happens when you have one run above the ball like that from Warta? It can be dangerous, but you need the multiple runs. That's what really draws a back line to step out of their shape.
So look at the WCC champions the last 5 seasons. Santa Clara, Brigham Young dominating it, but last year it was Gonzaga. After winning 14 games under head coach Chris Watkins, he then went on to Boston College. And now Katie Benz in year 1 here, promoted from being an assistant last year.
And you can see why they had some success. They're really organized defensively. They're hard to break down at times, but also have that intensity to go forward. Even though Katie Benz would like to see more of that, you see that there's a really good structure in place with Gonzaga and what they can do and how they attack out of their shape.
Here's a look at Katie Benz. It's tricky for an assistant coach to then take on the head coaching reins.
It is, Glenn, and I think that's something that people don't really think about very much, because you have to make that transition in the eyes of the players as well. But a lot of times head coaches, and I'm sure Chris Watkins is no different, they set them up for success.
Left-footed hit, that just flares wide. That's a dangerous ball. That one jumped off the left foot of Caitlin Rigg, who's got 4 on the seasons.
And those aren't the real big transitional moments. They're not the clear ones, but they're taking advantage of the opportunities. Rigg gets a good strike on the ball, and Santa Clara recovers quickly, so you can already see that Gonzaga is trying to get in transition and get rid of the ball a little bit quicker to create opportunities.
So Caitlin Rigg showing up early here in the second half. She had a goal in the 4-0 win during the week against San Francisco. Paige Alexander had a pair, and Abby Cecilia had 1 as well. Bit higher pressure here from Santa Clara, who wants to get after it a little bit. And I thought, Casey, you made a great point, because I had not mentioned her name much, but Mana Hayashi in the first half kind of drifted out of this game, and we heard how much Jerry Smith wanted to play both through her and Kat Jordan.
You're 100% right, and it was the matchup with Warta. Warta did a really good job of just trying to stay really close to her defensively, so she did get it. She wasn't able to go forward. There's been a change in the way they're set up.
Here's a right-footed shot, easily saved here. In the end, again, it's a hit coming from the very talented Amelia Warta after a pass from Marissa Garcia. Those two have been involved in the attack for Gonzaga today.
They have, and Warta's matched up now with Kat Jordan. Your point to Hayashi, she's a little bit higher up the field now, playing more in that 10 attacking midfielder role. So a little bit of a personnel change, even though it's the same way they came out in the first half. Now Hayashi's a little higher and can try to be a little bit more creative going forward.
That was Shaynauer trying to get turned. Again, this is a Marissa Garcia, who's got a very educated left foot, is looking very good in tight, skill-wise, and in small spaces here. Has gotten some delivery in. This is Lauren Chin now playing forward. This is the aforementioned Marissa Garcia. She'll play it over the top. And again, trying to pick out Amelia Warda. Those two have something going on.
They do. There's a lot of really good off-ball movement there from Gonzaga and from those two players, and that's what you want in those positions. You want that interchange. It makes it hard when someone steps, someone's going in behind. They're starting to figure that out a little bit here against Santa Clara.
Nice penetrating pass. Here's Nauer. One-time ball forward. Turn of speed here. This is great work here to win the ball back here. Far post wide open. Maybe a chance here for Santa Clara. And the shot will get pulled wide after the delivery. It was Whitehouse's finish that went wide.
Well, there's more of a commitment to get forward and do it at pace. That time it was coming from Colby Barnett. That's what we were talking about. Put your head down and go. This game is just asking for people in the wide channels to go at pace in the 1v1. And Colby Barnett does a good job. And that was, like you mentioned, Whitehouse coming up all the way from her left back position to get into the final third.
If Santa Clara wins it today, is that where it comes from? Whitehouse and Barnett, wide game?
I think that that's exactly how they can win it. It doesn't necessarily mean the goal has to come from that, but I think the more they do that, Gonzaga's going to have to respect it, and it's going to open up space centrally as well. And that's something Jerry Smith talked about too. Like, he wanted to see them work in both areas to make sure that Gonzaga doesn't stay compact.
Lauren Chin with a beautiful sweeping tackle there, which reminds you that tackling is a skill. Perfectly timed.
And it is a great tackle right here. It's Lucy Mitchell coming in, and her youth days played a lot as an outside back as well, in midfield as well for the national team. And so she's a player that can really do it on both sides of the ball. I'd like to see her get even more forward as well, but you definitely see what she can do defensively.
Yeah, my apologies, Lucy Mitchell. Goal and 5 assists for the graduate student from Alpharetta, Georgia. Gonzaga showing some confidence here. Long-range hit. Oh, what a goal. The Bulldogs have produced the game's first goal, and this is power and accuracy from distance.
And that's
a spectacular hit.
Back line. Yeah, Glenn, it was great. The space in front of the back line, Santa Clara keeps pulling off, and Warda is finding that space in there, and we'll try to figure out something in this space, but they connect one pass. Warda just decides, I'm just going to go for this myself. If nobody is going to step to me, which they haven't been, they've allowed her to really operate in that space, and she gets a great strike on the ball. It comes down at the perfect time, and Santos just doesn't read that one very well to push it over the crossbar.
I have to say she's been the most dangerous player here today. It's goal number 3 on the year. She is the player that takes more shots on Gonzaga than anybody, 45 coming into this game. Gets a lot of them on goal, the sophomore, but she has been knocking on the door here today, and it's not a surprise she produces the game's first goal.
Well, in the first 10 minutes of the game, to your point, she got her head down and just started dribbling. She went 30, 40 yards on her own. Like, she wanted to take over the game. And what I've liked about what she's done is everything that she's done on the ball has been without hesitation. Even if she decides, you know what, no, I'm going to keep the ball and we're going to recycle it, she looks decisive, and that's been really big time for Gonzaga.
That's how the second half can get off and running here. This is Caitlin Rigg trying to power her way through, still on the ball now for Gonzaga. She came out of the locker room here, Caitlin Rigg, with a lot of power and determination here in the second half. And we heard the head coach, Katie Benz, mentioning to us that, you know, they wanted to be a little bit more direct in transition, wanted to bring a little bit more conviction to this game, and they have.
They really have, and you can see the forward running movements. You can just see it in someone's body language when there's been a talk at halftime about energy and speed and intensity and enthusiasm, all of that, which Katie Benz mentioned, and you can see it from Gonzaga. Now, it helps when you're rewarded with a goal. Warta was able to do that, so it's nice to get that reward, and that can propel you for the next few minutes to try to capitalize on that momentum.
It's Caroline Gray who was down for Santa Clara, the center back. Last year was at Notre Dame, played 9 times there, a grad student that has come now to Santa Clara from St. Johns Creek, Georgia. So she's the one in a little bit of trouble here right now.
When she was having to chase that ball back towards her own goal, Caitlin Rigg was on her, putting her under a lot of pressure. You'll see it right here. She tries to get her body in between Rigg and the ball, not able to do it. And she doesn't quit. She continues to battle. Rigg does get up and is able to earn the throw-in on this far side, but perhaps something just happened in this moment, even though she does continue to play.
So wearing the captain's armband. She'll get helped off here in the 54th minute. We'll see if she's going to be able to return. But a stunning goal to start the second half from Amelia Huerta for Gonzaga. And here it is again. This is just pure power off the right foot. And that flashes in the goal past goalkeeper Lauren Santos.
And you just can't give 4 yards of space to a player that plays in that attacking midfield role like Amelia Huerta, because that's exactly what they're going to do. They're not necessarily looking to try to combine at all times. You'd look to shoot from distance, so next time defenders might step out, but she doesn't need it next time on that one.
Ball comes in the box. Huerta's going to flash a header wide again. She is the target. She is making real problems in and around the penalty area and outside it for Gonzaga right now. Foul there as Hayashi got cut down.
That's the creativity that Jerry Smith, I'm sure, is talking about. She was under a lot of pressure, and you get dispossessed there. It's not good for your team, and use that creativity to draw the foul.
Schaenauer knocked it back into the box. It comes. It's headed away. Tessa Ferguson, a freshman from Barcelona, Spain, has come on now to play the center back position for Caroline Gray. Barnett beats one. Nice ball. It's a great look here on goal. Shot. What a save. Lauren Town comes up big for Gonzaga. Denies Schaenauer.
And this is a great play. It's Colby Barnett with the against the grain pass right there. What a save from Lauren Town. This is awesome play from Santa Clara, but big time from the goalkeeper, because that is a point-blank opportunity. One you really just want to see Schaenauer pass into the net.
Off the corner, it's all tied up. The aerial game does it here for Santa Clara. They're going to get the goal here from Kat Jordan off the corner, and we are now level at 1.
This is a great header from Kat Jordan. They're rewarded for their good attacking play. But what I like about this is also the service, the trajectory allows her to get power on this. It's a great ball, and really nothing Lauren Town could do in that moment. But there's a lot of pace on this. It comes down. All you have to really do is direct that on frame because of the pace on it, and it's a great finish from the midfielder.
And she's just far more aggressive. It was zonal marking set up there, and not able to get out was Hannah Gray. So Kat Jordan comes up with her 4th of the year, none bigger in this one. It is now 1-1. That came right after a wonderful save from Lauren Town, denying Schaenauer. We're still trying to catch our breath after that amazing save, and in a blink of an eye, off the corner, Santa Clara tying things up.
And those are those critical moments that if you're Gonzaga, you really have to have someone go, we got to stay organized here. When you have a goalkeeper make a save they're not expected to make, because that wasn't a save that you think Lauren Town's going to make because of how close Schaenauer is in that moment. You certainly don't want to allow what just happened, where there's that extra opportunity for a corner kick and then you're not marked up completely, because there were 3 players around Kat Jordan that could have challenged.
Response comes in 4 minutes from Santa Clara, and they're looking to take the lead here now. They've gotten a lot of energy now all of a sudden after this tying goal. Are you a fan of defending corners and set pieces, of zonal marking, man-to-man, or a hybrid?
I like a hybrid. I think a little bit of everything, but it also it can depend on your opposition. But I think the hybrid piece of player-to-player marking allows you to match up with any really dominant headers, but then you've got the zonal where their job is really just to seek out the ball, so you can have a little bit of both.
A lot of times you'll get defenders that relax on the edge of that 6-yard box and don't attack the ball with vigor because they don't have that man-to-man responsibility. But either way, this is a huge, huge goal to tie things up for Santa Clara. It comes from Kat Jordan. It's a 4th of the year for her.
She's the one who appears to be down too, Glenn, just after that challenge as well.
It was kind of funny because Jerry Smith said in our interview that we're not very good in the air.
Well, maybe they're working on it. You know, they got their reward.
And Kat Jordan now is in a little bit of trouble here.
It was just a challenge in the air in that moment. She actually gets to the service first, but she's not braced for that impact as she goes up for that. You could see it came off her left shoulder, wouldn't have been able to steady herself to be able to take the impact of that challenge.
Santa Clara's already lost center back Caroline Gray, who's been replaced by Tessa Ferguson, the freshman from Barcelona, Spain. Jordan, a transfer from Colombia. It's a 14th career goal for her. But that's a big piece that could be lost in midfield here for the remaining moments and minutes of this game, Casey.
Yeah, and I think it's obviously the goal scorer, but she does so much more than that. Her partnership with Hayashi is really important in how they possess. It also allows Sally Minty to have a little bit more free reign in how she moves as the other attacking midfielder. So certainly players that can come in off the bench and help in that regards, but Kat Jordan is in good form right now.
Traded goals, first in the 52nd minute. It was just a spectacular long-range hit from Warta. And then 4 minutes later, this is the goal. Kat Jordan, who just gets up and over a Gonzaga defender.
And look, it's in between 3 players, but she judges it properly. The depth perception better from her and able to get on it, directs it on frame. That's what you want from your player. Get to it, win it, and just put it on frame. You never know what can happen. You could have the first opportunity to go in. There could be a second chance, and she does a great job with that.
Excellent leap from her, and hopefully she's going to be able to stay in. She will come back in. Wednesday, star-studded doubleheader. You got the Celtics getting set to begin a 4-game road trip against the Pacers, 7 Eastern. Then you go out to Oklahoma City, and you get the Thunder hosting the Spurs. NBA Countdown tips off our coverage at 6:30 Eastern. The legendary Spurs announcer Bill Land retiring last night in their game against the Houston Rockets. Santa Clara into the box it comes, and off her line to claim it.
And already I think we're seeing, Glenn, that more of that north to south play from both of these teams. And it's all about, one, how you approach it, but also how you respond to moments like goals. And Santa Clara had a great response. They've now had a really good response to scoring their own goal as well, continuing to look to go forward. Now it's Gonzaga's turn to figure out, okay, how do we get back in this game? Because they started the half really well.
Hayashi played it forward to Shaynauer, and run kept going forward there from Sally Minty. Santos off her line, distributes quickly. Hayashi. Shaynauer trying to get there. Warta. Righted that scintillating, eye-popping, long-range goal. Chin will knock it forward for Gonzaga. Just getting it off her feet so quickly is Hayashi. And it leads to this now. It's a good, strong, penetrating run. Whitehouse knocked it inside, gets it back. It's now Barnett. Barnett and Whitehouse on the same side of the field.
We heard it from Jerry Smith right before halftime. He wanted to see more dangerous 1v1 opportunities from Santa Clara. They are starting to do that. You see Lucy Mitchell doing it, Colby Barnett, who's walking a little gingerly after that last confrontation. But what that does is it makes a back line, it makes a 1v1 defender have to respect the space, and they get further and further compact into their own final third. Then you can get players higher up the field if you don't actually beat them off the dribble. And so I think we're seeing that combination more now of possession from Santa Clara, but the ability to be dangerous out of that possession, which is more effective.
Man, he made it very clear. We need some people to go at people off the dribble.
Yes, because if you're just passing, yes, it can be dangerous, but you have to have a little bit of that north-south every now and then, and he recognizes that. I mean, he's seen that throughout the years and how to balance that with the style of play and possession, and it did feel that way. It felt very middle third in the first half from both of these teams, and you got to figure out how to penetrate behind back lines in order to score.
Good switch of play from Shaynauer. That pass, though, gets cut out. Gonzaga, the very talented left foot of Garcia, trying to open the game up. And that ball will allow Gonzaga to get up the field here and into the Santa Clara half. Alexander off the throw. Here's Paige Alexander. 2 goals and assists in the 4-0 win over San Francisco. He's pushed forward in that game today, has remained in that left back position against Santa Clara. But he's definitely tried to get forward a lot. Warta flicked it on. Cross from Rigg is blocked. Barnett came back, and now a longer ball towards Shaynauer. And a Gray fighting through it. Warta, Garcia, Gray, and that long-range shot over the top and out for the goal kick for Santa Clara here, 62 minutes in.
And what I like from Gonzaga, they're keeping possession in those environments, but they're dangerous with their possession. They're breaking a line of midfield. They're having opposite passes that's throwing off Santa Clara defensively. And Hannah Gray did a great job in possession there. And I know we've talked about her a lot, but Warta, not just scoring the goal, she also is really matching up in a 2v2 against one of the center backs when they're in possession. That makes it really hard to defend. So keep watching her because she drifts forward in between the midfield and back line. And that means there's 4 across the back line of Santa Clara at times.
Big space here in midfield now for Santa Clara. Ball clipped into the box, just behind the run there. Is Hayashi getting in there? So maybe she is going to try to get in the attack a little bit more now, Casey.
She has definitely rotated up a little bit, and part of that goes to what we talked about with the principles of play about Jerry Smith of just filling spaces and seeing what's open to you, but she definitely has done it more in this half.
Here's Warta commanding a different respect now that she scored that long-range goal. Also here is Garcia. Garcia to Warta. Every attack usually includes those two. Gonzaga wins it back. Good work defensively here from Santa Clara. Shaynauer held it up nicely. We're going to call a foul here on Lauren Chin, the junior from Seattle. It's Barnett who's down here grimacing. for Santa Clara.
And while it looked a little awkward, I'm really surprised to see this called. Right there is the initial, I mean, there was contact initially with the ball. It was after where there was contact with Barnett. So a little surprised to see that call because I thought it was a well-timed step in by Chin in that moment.
I think Lauren Chin's going to agree with you, Casey.
I think so too. I think she'll like that I said that, right?
Seattle, Washington, 1 assist on the year, a junior. Well, defenders love good tackles and well-timed tackles. Seen some good ones here today. Santa Clara now looking for a second. 1-1 scoreline here. Glenn Davis, former U.S. international. Casey White, ESPNU, Stevens Stadium, Buckshaw Field here in Northern California. Santa Clara and Gonzaga tied at 1. Change here coming now. Off will go Shaynauer, and on will come number 12, Tori Powell. Shaynauer will get a breather. You are allowed to re-enter in the second half. Cross comes in, and offer line there very confidently, Lauren Town.
Glenn, I thought there was a portion of the first half where Santa Clara really figured out the central channel, and that's a good job by Sally Mincy right there to figure out the central channel. But honestly, I think Gonzaga has adapted really well. A big part of it has been Marissa Garcia coming in defensively. So we haven't really seen that in this second half, but Santa Clara will certainly try to dominate that area again as the game goes on.
Nice outside of the football there. And in comes now Lucy Mitchell. And Colby Barnett will get a break as well. And right into action is Mitchell now. Mitchell driving in the box. And for a moment there, maybe people thought penalty. Waved off. Another one of the beauties of running at people inside a penalty area. You got to be treated differently.
Yeah, you just never know. You never know what's going to happen if you do that. So you might as well put your head down and go and force defenders to have to be composed in that moment.
Oh, this is a good build-up here. A whipped-in ball at the end of it from Addie Whitehouse. But that's a picture of Santa Clara at its best there with that ball circulation.
And that's what you get. That's the payoff when you have a player like Lucy Mitchell as a winger come inside into that inside space. You allow the space for your outside back to get around, create the overload. They execute it really well in that moment.
Earns them a corner. So here we go. Scored off one earlier through Kat Jordan. This one goes to the near post. They try to help it on. Shooting opportunity is blocked. Jumping in for the hit there was Bubnis, the redshirt senior from Carlsbad, California. Made good contact.
Yeah, and she steps up really well in this moment. Hayashi just trying to help it on, and deflection, a lot of traffic in front, so the deflection occurs. But good organization attacking-wise from Santa Clara.
It was a center back's dream.
It was, laying right up there.
Off the corner it is again towards the near post. Oh, the flicked on header. Pace in the delivery. The header flashing wide from Hayashi.
And when this happens, you want someone running at that back post to frame the goal, make it a little bit bigger, and it just happens so quickly. I don't think Santa Clara was able to do that. You saw eventually a run going to the back post. It could be a tap in. You'll see it right here. Can you run? It's Tori Powell that's the closest to it. Just doesn't read it quick enough because you could be tapping that in on the back post.
Lester drove that forward. Orta. Every time she's in and around the ball, got to be concerned. She's got to be tracked. She is really amount of runs she's made here today, I think, also makes her a favorite to score goals.
That's a good point, and she's incredibly industrious, but she's smart in the way she does it. She reads the play early. She's very forward-thinking, forward-running type of player, and she does a great job with it, and it's making problems for Santa Clara. And now it's just more players running off of her as well from the Zags to have more numbers in that final third.
Santa Clara building it up now. 70th minute. Monday night football matchup, Malik Neighbors and the Giants in Pittsburgh squaring off against Russell Wilson and the 5-2 Steelers. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus, and ESPN Deportes. And you can also catch Peyton and Eli once again on ESPN2. Well, right here, it's Gonzaga in a 1-1 draw with Santa Clara. Glenn Davis alongside former U.S. international Casey White. 2 second-half goals, 4 minutes apart. Warta on the ball now, one of them from long range. Kat Jordan, a header off a corner to tie it for Santa Clara. Is there a game winner in this one? Big switch of play. That's a good ball from Menti. And in the end, the final ball not there. At the far post making the run was number 12, Tori Powell for Santa Clara. Marissa Vasquez with the delivery.
Well, I like that Sally Minty looks to go direct in that moment. That's just reading the play. Yes, you're a possession-oriented team, but she saw all that space in the wide channel for Vasquez to step in. It just shows great awareness from the attacking midfielder and build-up.
No, Paige, get out of here. Wait, Paige, hold on. Paige, go away.
Do you get any sense, Casey, which team might take a bit more risk here to get a win today?
You know, that's a really good question. I don't think it's obvious who's going to be the team to break through, but I do think if you're Gonzaga, yeah, a tie is good because Santa Clara is in the top 10 right now, but I think from a conference standpoint and just increasing your RPI, can you go for the win?
Off her line.
And to that
Lauren
point,
Santos.
Glenn, yeah, Santa Clara is in first place with games in hand as well. So it's critical for them, but not as critical, I think, to go for the win in this space. But if you know Jerry Smith, I mean, he doesn't like to sit back. He wants to go forward. He wants to possess, create opportunities. But I think Gonzaga really is the team that needs to push.
Speaking of RPI, like magic there from our production team.
And that's why Gonzaga, for me, can really use a really good result. Yes, a tie would be a good result for them, but how great would 3 points be, not only in conference play, but to increase the RPI to get a win against a team that's really highly ranked.
'73rd minute. Mitchell gets a delivery in. It's helped on out wide. Blocked and cleared by Gonzaga. Direct ball there. Playing in the center forward position right now is Tori Powell for Santa Clara.
And I'm not going to completely try to read Jerry Smith's mind, but based on our conversation with him and knowing how he likes to play, he wants the ball on the ground. This back and forth of playing the ball in the air, battling for first and second balls, that feeds into what Gonzaga is more comfortable with, even though they've shown their ability to possess. You want players to get the ball on the ground if you're Santa Clara, and Jerry Smith will certainly be encouraging his team to do that.
Free kick, Gonzaga goes short. It's a great run here. It's whipped into the box. It's cut out in the end there by Sally Menti. Great little move here from Tori Powell. Powell now in full flight. She's got running to her left from Hayashi. It's still Powell. Mitchell now. Oh, it's maybe a chance here. There's players in the box here. Hayashi's in there. So is Powell. Crosses block there from Vasquez.
It's a really powerful run from Torrey Powell. They even start everything. Took on 2-3 players. I like that. Put your head down, go, penetrate. And then when you get into the final third, they show that their ability to keep possession and generate something to get a corner kick.
Came on for Shea Nauer. 2 goals, 2 assists in 12 games. Torrey Powell. Off the corner, towards the near post. Again, they tried to pick out Hayashi, who had a flick on that went just wide of the post prior in this game. Lucy Mitchell now. Still Mitchell, teasing, tormenting, tries to get a cross in. Another corner now for Santa Clara. Piling the pressure on Gonzaga now. Cross was blocked there by the very talented Paige Alexander. Look there at Lucy Mitchell, the graduate student. 7 corners to 1 in favor of Santa Clara and the Broncos today. Scored off one earlier from Kat Jordan. And it comes again. That's going to be handled there in the end by Lauren Town. We mentioned 3 games to go for each team. Gonzaga will play against Portland Pacific and Loyola Marymount. Santa Clara gets Oregon State, San Diego, and St. Mary's.
Oh, no, not tonight. No, not good.
Gonzaga in possession here. Kylie Jones knocks it wide. Long range hit will skip. Good clean handling there from Lauren Santos, who, by the way, has saved 2 penalties here today. Retake it.
It was good ball retention, though, for Gonzaga in that area. They are doing a really good job. I've been really impressed by that by them. They do have a direct style of play when it's in transition, but they've made some really good decisions to keep the ball. And I think if they can still continue to try to get some more runs forward with Warta and Rigg, join them, it'll make Santa Clara a little more uncomfortable where they don't have to settle for the long range shot.
Whitehouse. Nice turn there from Lucy Mitchell, and she's found a lot of space here. Back to Whitehouse now. Torrey Powell in front of her. Ball comes into the box. Battling to win it back as Whitehouse gets a shot off. In the end, it's an easy save for Lauren Town. But not for lack of effort there from Addie Whitehouse.
And this is good, stepping and pressing right here, not allowing the counterattack the opposite way. And Whitehouse, no hesitation, goes for it. It's just right at Lauren Town, so easily handled.
Oh, no.
Keep working wide.
Both teams have been able to advance the ball, Casey, get into the opponent's final third. And maybe the story right now is goalkeeping and just the lack of maybe chance creation at times in the final third of the field.
I think so. Clear chance creation and then the efficiency to get those chances on frame as well. It was just 2 out of 8 in that first half for Santa Clara. Although Gonzaga did get 2 out of 3 on frame, but that piece is important. But I think it can't be understated that the back lines have been really organized as well. A lot of times we'll say it's, oh, the attack's not doing this or that, but there's been good cover defensively. They've been industrious to get back and get in behind the back line. So I think credit goes to the back lines as well for forcing half chances. And the goalkeepers, of course, have stepped up in big moments.
Santa Clara now in possession. Menti, yes, it's 2-1. Santa Clara has scored. Countering the long-range hit of Gonzaga, it is Menti who has put the Broncos up 2-1 now in the 79th minute.
And Santa Clara was just off to the races, going forward at speed. It's Sally Menti, who's been really good in possession this entire game. Hasn't gone forward a whole lot, but gets the ball, gets on the half turn, and just takes this one, keeps it low. There's a little bit of traffic in front of town right in this moment, but it's perfectly placed. You keep that low. You really don't give a goalkeeper a chance to make a save.
Boy, the mechanics, the body shape of that hit, absolutely beautiful from Sally Menti. Has given Santa Clara a 2-1 lead, and she's more known for being somebody who lays on the pass to people. With 6 assists, she's tied for tops in the conference. It's a 10th career goal for her, and what a goal it was.
Yeah, what's really critical about that goal, of course the finish was great. You're, like you said, just technically executes it wonderfully. But her first touch, the prep touch to be able to step on the second touch and make that a finish, not take an extra prep touch after that. She keeps it within about a yard of her. It's close enough that it doesn't draw a defender too close, but it's also far enough away where she's able to step through it, get power. So it's a little detail, but that's what sets up finishers for really great opportunities like that one.
Well, it's all on Gonzaga now to try and respond here if they can try to get a point out of this game. We've seen 2 long-range goals here today, both of wonderful quality. One from Amelia Huerta of Gonzaga and one from now Sally Menti of Santa Clara. One way for a captain to lead the way.
She's done a lot today. She's had to cover a lot of ground because it has been a little bit more north to south, end to end, where she's had to cover ground defensively. She's been great in possession. Hasn't really been the player that's looked to be dangerous and break lines, just played her role really well, but that's a big moment to step up and be able to provide the finishing touch.
NHL games Tuesday, doubleheader, Rangers and Caps, 7:30 Eastern time. And then you go to the Kings and Sharks out in California, 6 Eastern on ESPN2. Gonzaga now trying to threaten here. Big intervention from Bubnis. And we would expect now to see a little bit more risk in this one, Casey, certainly from Gonzaga.
Yes, we might as well press a little bit higher up the field. They have been playing more with one attacking midfielder with 2 underneath. Huerta's been the attacking midfielder. I wouldn't be surprised to see her get even more on the back line, and they could probably transition in just a single pivot in holding midfield.
Big ball in the box. Who's going to win the second ball here? It's going to be Santa Clara. 2-1 lead for the Broncos now over the Bulldogs. Nice little back heel there from Werner. It's Gonzaga now. Santa Clara is just going to clear here.
A second assist is added on the second Bronco goal. It's number 20, Tess Ferguson.
Sweetest of hits from Sally Menti, giving a 2-1 lead. Let's go back to the 3 goals. The 52nd minute is when the first one came.
And this was the first separator right here. Huerta was all over it all day, gets a little bit of space. It just decides, I'm going to go for this myself. And it has a great strike, but only 4 minutes later, Kat Jordan would come up big on the corner kick. A great header to equalize, and then great through the run of play, through the central channel. 1 touch to prep, the second touch, a great left-footed strike from Sally Menti.
2-1, Santa Clara, 83rd minute. Hayashi. Rare loss of possession from her. That sticks out and jumps out of your screen because you very rarely see that. She's been buzzing around in a bit of a higher position at times here in the second half, as Casey pointed out.
And I think we'll see her get even more into the run of play with this Santa Clara team. You have that U20 World Cup. It's a little bit disjointed. It interrupts the season, to say the least, and it's a great event, of course, and something you want your players to do. But just coming back into it, had a little bit of an injury, now back into the run of play. I think as the season continues on, she'll be a big part of this team.
Along the end line and trying to cut it back, maybe missing the run there at the top of the box of Lucy Mitchell, is Tori Powell.
And it was a great run by her, and you could see the intensity of Lauren Town telling her defenders, you cannot let her round that corner. There has to be a little bit better defending, some cover on the ball, a little bit closer cover, so she's not able to beat both of them in that moment.
Marissa Vasquez, 84th minute. Stands over it at the corner here, and going to play it short here and trying to do a bit of time wasting. Santa Clara doesn't think it went over the end line, but, or was it? Restart here from Gonzaga. Big ball, headers cleaned up here by Santa Clara now. Long driven ball will go to the goalkeeper, who has been outstanding today, Lauren Santos. And you're probably thinking right now, Casey, Jerry Smith, hey, listen, we can manage this game out with our great possession game.
Yeah, it definitely plays into the way they want to play, and you're also thanking Lauren Santos for keeping your team in the game with those penalty kick saves. You want your goalkeeper to step up, and now it's about game management. It's being comfortable on the ball, just moving the ball, making Gonzaga chase. You make them chase, and the longer they're not on the ball, that is the best type of defensive effort you can ask for.
When Jerry Smith, the head coach of Santa Clara, told us in our phone call with him, I found it interesting that he said, you know, this is an okay season that could go better. Back to that in a second, as Santa Clara on the attack, tackled away from Vasquez.
Yeah, I think you're right, Glenn, and he did mention that, and he said, we'll see with games like versus Gonzaga, what can we do and how can we grow, and he does see that they could turn into a very good team in this season, but he's still critical of different things they've got to work on and get better. And that's a coach that has a lot of experience, that understands, has seen the game at the highest level, has taken so many teams down the stretch, and you start to recognize different patterns, and he wants to see those improvements in this group.
Abby Cecilia will come on, her first appearance here tonight. She'll go to the left back position. So what we're seeing now is Paige Alexander will get pushed forward for Gonzaga. She had, if you remember, 2 goals against San Francisco. So Paige Alexander now is high up the field here, trying to create a little bit of chaos and confusion. Time running out on Gonzaga. 2-1 Santa Clara. And remember, no stoppage time here. Headed away again by Santa Clara.
I think it needs to be noted, I like what Vasquez and Powell have done as they've come in. They had substitute roles, but in the second half, they've been pretty direct, pretty aggressive going forward, and that's really given the rest of Santa Clara the opportunity to rest and be able to relax a little bit as they put in some effort running forward for the Broncos.
Yeah, I think that's a great point from you, Casey, because it did in a lot of ways, change in attitude a little bit.
It did, and that's what Jerry Smith wanted to see, and they were a really big catalyst for that. What that does is it makes Gonzaga chase towards their own goal, just puts them under pressure. They can't really settle in like they were earlier in the game.
Lauren Chin knocks it back. They got to get it forward here. Time now to maybe put your foot on it. Menti, who has the game's winning goal, knocks it wide. Vasquez running it to the corner flag now here. Hayashi.
Whoa!
Going to be a Santa Clara possession here. Making her way back into the team. Big piece to keep an eye on is Mana Hayashi, the under-20 Japanese international, and what part she can play in the rest of this season here in 2024. Shielding it by the corner flag now. Another throw-in for Santa Clara. As we are about to enter the 90th minute. To the corner flag it goes again, this time to Tori Powell. And they are just siphoning the life out of this game here in the final seconds.
They really are. I mean, they're taking the air out of the game, keeping it in the corner. Hayashi does a good job, and actually that looks like it's a foul right there, drawn by Hayashi, not able to do it, but they've got to stop the counterattack right here, and Menti does it.
Here's Menti, another shot right on, would have been a third. Again towards the corner flag, and this is looking real good for Santa Clara now. Barring any spectacular last-minute goal here from Gonzaga. They have done a good job of keeping this game into the final half of the field. Casey, how about some final thoughts on this one?
Well, I think if you're Santa Clara, they're got to be happy with this, going down a goal, being able to figure it out, not super clean in the final third at first. Saved penalties, a lot of really good things that they are able to come out with 3 points. And Gonzaga, a little hard done by. I thought they had a really good performance from their group, but not able to get the 3 points.
Sally Menti will get the game winner here today for Santa Clara. They are 2-1 winners. Kat Jordan had one as well. And the Broncos will take sole possession of first place in the West Coast Conference. That does it today. Once again, our final score, Santa Clara 2-1 over Gonzaga. Coming up next, college football. Morgan State will take on North Carolina Central. And for Casey White and our entire ESPN crew, I'm Glenn Davis. So long from Santa Clara, California. Broncos winners over the Bulldogs.